Hi there, my name is Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel, and today I have for you the second holiday collection release from Goose Creek. This is the one that has 13 candles in it, and they all have this really cool border at the bottom with a realistic picture on the front. There are 3 new to everyone scents that I'm going to share. There are a bunch of returning ones. 5 of those I still have from last year, or one of them actually is from earlier this year. So those are not going to be images of the new jar, wax, wicks, any of that. It's just going to be me using those for scent notes, cold impression, and burn impression, post-burn smell, not how it looks. And then there are 4 that are new to me that I do not have and have not tried. And then there is one that was not new to me that I did not rebuy, and that is the Eggnog. I didn't rebuy that one because honestly I wasn't that crazy about it last year. It was too milky, and I like Bath & Body Works Eggnog better. I'm already not crazy about eggnog candles, so I didn't pick it up. It will not be a part of my review. I would say if you like eggnog, I think Bath & Body Works does it better. It's more eggy. I want my eggnog to be eggy, and I feel like Goose Creek's was just creamy and a little one-dimensional. So you won't see that reviewed, but you'll get the rest of them. And if you are new here, this is what I call my lit review episode, and what I'll do is share with you my cold impression, scent notes, wax, wicks, label, lid, that is on the ones that are new to me. Then I will cut the video, go out and burn it, and you'll get a post-burn impression of how these evolve on warm, and burn footage on the ones that are in the new jars, plus I'll give you information about strength and throw. And I'm going to start today's episode with the new to everyone candles, and one of those is Christmas cookies. And y'all, I want to eat this picture. Those cookies look divine. So you have a big plate of cookies. There's some gingham red plaid in the background with some ornaments. There are pine cones. I also really like the gold foil ribbon that's above the border at the bottom there. It's like a bow ribbon. So here's the bow on the front, and then it goes all the way around. The bottom of the border, this one is kind of like a muted green, and it has like that wallpaper stripe vibe to it. This whole collection, yes, has gold lids. And this one is white wax with thin, stiff, ropey wicks. Christmas cookies is sweet cookie dough, rich vanilla extract, and crystallized sugar. Okay. Yeah, it smells a lot like the sugar cookie dough that was in the previous collection that I just reviewed. 2 things stand out to me as different. One is that this smells a lot lighter on cold, which raises a red flag for me. The other distinction is that I get more of like a baked cookie note from this, whereas the sugar cookie dough does actually smell like a raw dough. This you get like that, like crusty edge or crusty bottom of a sugar cookie. It's nice. I think it's pleasant. It's sweet. It's a little bit vanilla-y. I feel like it smells like an actual sugar cookie. I don't think it smells like this one looks. This looks doughy, kind of gooey. This smells more like a thinner, crispy sugar cookie. So good, but feels like it's already been done. I will also say that if I were to compare this to the Bath & Body Works Crispy Cookie Edges candle that just came out, the Bath & Body Works one smells better on cold. Another new to all of us is buttered caramel popcorn. So you have very, very caramelly popcorn on the front in a bowl. You have the same ribbon accent, only the border on the bottom on this one is more of a orange caramel color. That looks like stomach pain to me. All the sweet cloying caramel with the popcorn looks like a lot. And then same gold lid, same wax, and same wicks. Scent notes on this are buttery popcorn, warm butterscotch, and creamy caramel. This smells like something we've had before. And I can't place it. Is it the... Didn't we have a kettle corn one this summer that was a part of like a carnival line or something? It's giving me that same energy. And that's the one that I had to throw out because it developed that nasty burning smell. I'm going to try not to let that bias my opinion of what I'm smelling right now. It smells good. It is more like butter pretzel to me than butter popcorn, which I'm enjoying. The caramel is not super dominant. I feel like I'm getting that butter note first. Caramel is very subtle, and then I get more of the butterscotch. But yeah, mostly buttery with a little bit of sweetness. I even feel like I'm getting like a salt element here. It doesn't say salted popcorn, it just says buttery popcorn. Yeah, I like it on cold. I could see myself pairing this with the Harry Potter candle that came out. I can't remember what it was called. Hufflepuff? I don't know. I don't watch the movies. I didn't read the books. I think that's which one. I'll put a picture up here. It reminds me of the buttery note in that. And then the like popcorn vibe it's giving me is reminding me a little bit of Scary Movie Night from Kringle. But I'm just worried this is going to go the way of that. I think it was like a caramel kettle corn that came out this summer. We'll see. I hope not. Right now I like it. Okay, and the last new for all of us is Coconut Cherry Macaron. Now, two things. One, some of y'all have said this came out before and then it was out a couple of years ago. However, the website says new fragrance. So I'm wondering if they have reformulated it. Alternatively, I'm curious if it was a macaroon before and now it's macaron before. Because Kringle just came out with a macaroon, which is the American coconut cookie. This one is a macaron, which is a French meringue cookie. I thought these were going to be the same, and then I realized they're not the same type of cookie. But anyway, I love the picture on this one. Makes me want to go to a French patisserie and order some of those cookies. Cherries in the background, beautiful pink everywhere that makes me think of cherry. The border at the bottom is kind of a cherry pink. Same lid, same wax and wicks. Scent notes on this one are coconut shavings, fluffy macaron, maraschino cherries, and sugary vanilla. Oh. You get just a hint of like a meringue shell. They're kind of crispy and crunchy when you bite into them. It smells like that. And then I'm getting just a hint of maraschino cherry, but it definitely feels more like you have like an extract that you added to the almond marzipan filling of a macaron cookie. I like it, but totally unexpected. Let me smell this one again. Yeah, they're not even remotely the same. This one is like buttery and has more coconut, also smelling super burnt. I mean, I did burn this one, but that's weird. Kringle doesn't usually stink that bad after you burn it. Yeah, if you like almond, this is giving me real like Sweetheart Cherry / Perfect in Pink vibes. So like if you took the almond from the Perfect in Pink, but the cherry from Sweetheart Cherry vibes and blended those together. Oh, that's delicious. Delicious and unexpected. Now let's get into the ones that are new to me, but maybe not new to you. And one of those is Gingerbread Lane, because this is a returning scent, but I did not buy it last year. I love the gingerbread village on this label. I want to build this and put it in my dining room. Alternatively, I want to bake it and then eat it. It's gorgeous. Beautiful brown gingerbread appropriate color border there at the bottom. Same lid, same wax and same wicks. This is fresh baked gingerbread, cinnamon spice, ground nutmeg, and vanilla icing. I really like this. It's heavy on the icing, which I appreciate. I feel like a lot of the gingerbread cookies are very spice heavy, and this feels much sweeter than the other ones I have. I'm actually staring at them because I'm going to do a Best in Glow gingerbread for this season. So for this episode, I'm just going to focus on this one, but be on the lookout because I'm staring at Bath & Body Works spiced gingerbread. I'm looking at Gingerbread Bakery from Bath & Body Works and also their new frosted chai cookie, which to me smells like gingerbread. And then I'll also have the Kringle Jolly Gingerbread candle in that Best in Glow. So be on the lookout on that. That's coming up. Subscribe if you want to see it. Okay, next one. New to me, but probably not new to you. Balsam Fir. Beautiful balsam on the front with snow on it, some pine cones hanging down, Very snowy ground with some sunshine in the background. Some shadows cast from the snow. Scent notes on Balsam Fir are fresh balsam, woodland pine, holiday evergreen, and oak moss. And I'm looking at my jar down here. Y'all, I cannot tell if that is damaged or if it's a defect in the glass, but there is what looks like right here. It almost looks like it got dented, but then it also just looks like a defect in the glass. I need to inspect that further before I burn this. I want to make sure that is not cracked under there, but that will require me to take the label off, which I really don't want to do. I'll investigate if that happens to be damage. I'm not going to burn this. I'll ask for a replacement. It looks like a defect, but pay attention when you're getting candles. Make sure they're safe to burn. Yep, this is classic balsam. It is a little bit like dank, or I don't know, I call it like dingy, or there's like a tinge to it that makes it feel a little funky compared to, say, a fir or a cedar. Yeah, it just smells like balsam pine to me. Moss? You could convince me there's an oak moss note in here. It does feel a little bit like the dried mossy stuff you can get at like a nursery or a craft store. It gives me that kind of energy. But mostly like sappy sweet pine with the funk of a balsam. Same lid on here and same wax and same wicks as the rest of the collection so far. And the next one that's new to me is Winter Splendor. And y'all have talked about this one so much. Cannot wait to get my nose on it. Beautiful label too. I love the pine cones on here with the berries. And you've got some, looks like pine branches. Bright red border at the bottom. Same lid. Same wax and wicks. Scent notes are winter cedar, cinnamon bark, icy peppermint, and smoky firewood. Okay. Yeah, because I've heard some of you say that this is the dupe to Winter from Bath & Body Works. And I see where you're getting that energy from. I feel like the cinnamon with the cedar note that's in here, that smells piney to me. I feel like I'm getting citrus in here, but there's not a citrus note. So I don't know if that's like a sappiness coming from the cedar or if that is actually a citrus note, but it's just not on the scent list. And it also has spice in it like Winter does, although I think Winter has clove, not cinnamon bark. But I actually think the Winter Morning, which is in the other holiday collection that got released, I think that one smells more like Winter than this one does. They're similar though. I don't think you need that one and this one. And I'm also craving more of the smoky firewood. I'm not getting smoke at all. I'm definitely getting a woody accord. It feels like a raw wood. It feels barky, which I'm guessing could be from the cinnamon or the firewood. And I'm not getting a strong mint vibe, although it could be the way the mint is playing with the pine that's making me think I'm smelling citrus. I am often nose blind to citrus. I think my brain gets perplexed by citrus notes. So it's possible the mint is playing with a sappy pine and my brain is saying that's an orange. So I don't know, but I definitely smell it. It does smell a lot like Winter. All right, that is all the new to me. Now we're going to get into repeat fragrances for me. And the first one I'm going to show you is one that I got the new label because I burned it last year but finished it up. So I need another one, and that's Christmas Magic. I love the Christmas tree picture on here, y'all. It is so festive. Beautiful snowy forest in the daytime with a lit up Christmas tree. The bottom border is kind of a grayish blue. It's almost like an icy blue with the accent almost looks like a lavender color. It's an interesting color choice. Same lid, same wax, same wicks. And Christmas Magic is sweet peppermint, creamy vanilla, and white woods. I really liked this one last year. And the Hubs really liked this one last year. Yeah, this smells a lot like Bath & Body Works Twisted Peppermint. It has the same peppermint note. It has a woods note in it. It has a vanilla note in it. but this one performs better. And honestly, I think this one smells more like, yeah, this one smells a lot like the new peppermint cookie one, the same peppermint vibe from Bath & Body Works too. I feel like I'm getting a cookie note in here, even though there's nothing in here other than the vanilla that would make me think cookie. So good. I'm so happy to have this back. Cannot wait to rip into this again this year. I may have to get a second one. I really like it. And if it gives you any insight, it's only one of like 2 candles that I finished last year from Goose Creek. I wasn't burning as much as I was this year. And so that means I really liked it because I finished it off. All right, now the rest of these are ones that I still own last year's jar, but I wanted to share with you what they smell like at least and get you some insights into the warm impression because I don't remember strength and throw or how these evolve on warm. And one of those is peppermint. Scent notes on this one are peppermint stick, light vanilla sugar, and warm honey. And this just smells straight up like a Brock's candy. It actually reminds me a lot of Bath & Body Works crushed, is it crushed peppermint candy? Or crushed peppermint? Yeah, and this is maybe gross to you if you don't like the idea of saliva, but it literally smells like a candy cane you've been sucking on already. So you know like how like the heat and the saliva from your mouth gets it kind of melty and ooey gooey and you can smell the peppermint, but also the sweetness gets amplified once it started to melt? That's what you get from this candle. Also, I want to highlight the label this year is cuter. I'll pop a picture of it up here. This is last year's label. I like this year's better. However, I don't think I can burn through this whole thing because I haven't even lit this. I bought it on clearance last year, so I don't want another one. I'm just going to burn this one this year and enjoy it, but I will fire this up to give you insight into strength and throw. I assume the formula is the same, but I can't guarantee that. Another one that I already own from last year, and I do really like this one, is Jingle Bells. Again, new label, so I'll pop that one up there what the new one looks like. This one is weird to me, and I don't know why I like it because I'm not usually a fan of apple, but for some reason the combination works. It's vanilla snow, mandarin, apple, and vanilla bean. And you get the very tart, bright, I wouldn't even say it's particularly juicy. It just feels very tart and bright from the apple. You get a juiciness, but it feels like it's coming from the mandarin. It feels like a citrus sweet juiciness to me. And then you get a vanilla note that is just kind of smooth. It's not too bakery. It's not too vanilla extracty. It kind of just is adding some warmth and rounding out the brightness of the citrus and the sharpness of the apple. Yeah, that's really pretty. Simple, but beautiful. Yeah, so again, I will burn it and give you insights, but it may be different this year. The next one I have that I did not get burned through last year is the White Christmas Cake. This is one of the labels that Kent did last year. I really wish we could get more labels like this year, although he's not around with Goose Creek anymore, so it's unlikely that we will get something this phenomenal. But for your reference, here is the new label, and the scent notes are the same. It is fluffy vanilla cake, marshmallow cream, vanilla sugar, and cream filling. This is super lactonic. You have to like cream cheese. I personally love cream cheese notes. For example, I love the blueberry cheesecake from Goose Creek, which is out in the new jar. It's like a neutrals style jar. Because that's the first thing you get is a lactonic. It's very creamy, but it's also a little bit like sour or tart from the cream cheese. You get a beautiful bakery vanilla that is sweet and creamy, and it definitely feels like a buttercream. It's saying cake, but it feels like buttercream to me. And then that creaminess, I think, is also coming from marshmallow because there is like a ooey gooey element in the background that feels almost like marshmallows that have just started to hit the pan and are melting. Yeah, beautiful on cold. If I remember last year, it burned pretty light. I didn't actually get through that much of it for that reason. I remember not being impressed by it, and I wasn't reviewing last year, so this isn't like a lit review candle. It's like I burnt it once and was like, meh, and put it on the shelf. But I'm going to revisit it. We'll light it up, and I'll tell you what I think with this go around. Because noses change. taste change. Now this is going to be weird to y'all because it's not in the right jar. But what happened is last year I ordered, this is Christmas from Goose Creek. I ordered it at Christmas clearance time. They sent me the candle and it came smashed to smithereens. In fact, if you look in the wax bed, it is actually full of glass. That is like the crystally, shimmery stuff you're seeing. Yeah, that's glass shards. So they sent this to me completely shattered. And when I reached out and said, hey, can you send me a replacement? They said, I'm sorry, it's sold out because it was the end of year clearance. And they just gave me a refund. But I didn't want to get rid of the candle and I had an empty Christmas cabin because I finished this last year. So it has been rehomed. I am still going to fire it up. Now, in terms of cold impression, I don't feel like the Christmas cabin jar is affecting it. And if I recall back then, I think I cared a lot more about, switching out candles and being clean about it. I think I washed this jar well with Dawn dish soap. So I think the Christmas cabin vibe is completely gone from here. So I don't think it's going to bias my read of this. So let me get you the scent notes since this is the wrong jar. I don't have the scent notes on here. I'll also pop a picture of the new label up here for you since I don't even have the old label to show you, but that's the new label this year. And this is Christmas Pine, Evergreen Garland, Sugared Cinnamon, and Winter Berries. The pine note in here feels a little pine sol, pine cleaner to me. It's a very clean, very crisp, very sharp pine. To the point where I'm actually craving more warmth. Like I'm kind of looking for the sugared cinnamon. Like I want a warm cinnamon to help round it out. I don't feel like I get berries. Maybe there's like a hint of like one of those red berries you'd have on a wreath. This is also reminding me of a Bath & Body Works candle, but I can't place it. I may dig through my stash and see if I can see the comparison. I don't remember which one it is, but anyhow, I like it. I just think it's a little bit pine cleaner, which may not appeal to everybody. The last one in this collection is Sparkling Cinnamon, and this is actually the fall label because I recently reviewed this one in a lit review episode when this came out with all the other like apple pumpkin and pumpkin apple and cinnamon this and cinnamon that from the fall collection. So I'm going to pop a card up here if you want to pop over to that video and see my review on this one. I will also hyperlink to the cold impression in the description below. It'll take you right there if you want to check that out. That video will also include a post-burn review. You just have to click the description and then go to the hyperlink after the post-burn section of the video. So not going to include this in today's video, just know this was also part of the collection and it was released. So although there are 13 candles, you're only going to get 11 reviewed today because I didn't buy the eggnog and I'm not going to review that one a second time. Let me rank these from my least favorite to my most favorite on cold. In last place, mostly because I feel like it's kind of boring. Yeah, and it's been done before. Christmas cookies. I still like it though, just to be clear. I don't dislike the scent. Actually, I think all of these are phenomenal. It's just not my favorite. Somebody has to go last. Balsam Fir would be next. It's the perfect balsam candle, but again, feels a little bit one-dimensional, looking for more complexity. Then I would do This Is Christmas in my Christmas cabin jar. I like this one. I think the pine sol vibe is throwing me off a little bit, however. Then I would do the buttered caramel popcorn. I love the butter note in here. It feels like a salty pretzel, even though that's not a scent note. I'm just worried about how that caramel and butterscotch are going to play out on warm, and I have some residual anxiety because of the way the kettle corn one went earlier this year. Then I would do white Christmas cake. I love the cream cheese frosting note in this one, but it also feels, I don't know, a little bit boring. I feel like I'm craving more complexity with that one. And actually I'm thinking I might burn that one with the cranberry candle from the previous collection I reviewed because I think it needs a little bit of fruit in there. I would then do Peppermint, which is just a classic peppermint scent, but I love it. Then I would do Winter Splendor. I get the hype around this one. I do think it smells like there's citrus in here, even though there is not a citrus note. I am perplexed by it, which intrigues me, which excites me to burn it. 4 would be Jingle Bells. I oddly love the apple and citrus together in this one. 3 is going to be Gingerbread Lane. I love how icing sweet this is. It doesn't feel overspiced. I really like how the nutmeg comes out in that one, along with the vanilla. Number 2 would be Christmas Magic. I love the vanilla and the peppermint combination in this one. And number 1 is going to have to be the new fragrance, Coconut Cherry Macaron. It's basically almond marzipan with cherry. It is so good. Oh, unexpected, but I love it. Okay, I'm going to cut here. I'm going to go burn these and take notes on things like strength and throw, how these evolve on warm. I'm also going to get you burn footage, but only of the ones that are in the new jars, because there's no point in me showing you how pretty the old jars are, because you can't get them anymore. I will be right back after the cut to share with you my findings. All right, y'all, there are some real upsets in this collection, partially because there are scents here I did not try last year, and also partially because ones I thought I wouldn't like, I actually really do. So I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to rank these from my least favorite to my most favorite, and one that didn't change is Christmas Cookie. That one is still in last place for me. Now, before I even get into the scent quality on this, I'm going to raise a red flag about potential burn quality on this one. Yeah, I'm reaching out to Goose Creek customer service on this beautiful candle because this, after a single burn, has already developed that nasty, I don't know, some people say it smells like kerosene, some people say it smells like ashtray. For me, it smells like something caught on fire and it's not right. There is a burnt tinge to this already. And the wicks are surprisingly charred. I mean, they are like black as a crisp. It's almost like there's a wick defect in some of these, and that's why it smells so burnt. And I didn't do anything unusual. I burn this just like I do all my candles that I test. I wait till it comes to full wax pool and film, so I didn't let it get carried away. It didn't go for too long. Yeah, it's nasty. So, to be fair, I don't know that I fully got the experience of this candle because that burnt note kicked in, and I smelled it almost immediately when I went downstairs into the testing room. I could still get a sense of the actual candle, however, so I do want to share with you that I feel like this is light. It did not have strong performance for me. I don't even know that I would say it was light leaning towards medium. Like, it just wasn't filling the space. You do get a very nice, fresh butter cookie baked note. It does feel like you made some sugar cookies and just took them out of the oven. And the vanilla in here is very creamy without going full buttercream. So I feel like the scent is delicious. It's divine, but I wanted more strength, and I do not like the burnt smell. Now, if I was further away from the candle and I'm walking into the testing space, all I got was the cookie vibe, and it smelled good. Again, light, but smelled good. The closer I got, the more I got that burnt note. And if I hovered and did one of these, it was all burn. I couldn't smell any of the sweet cookie goodness. So could be a quality control issue just with my candle. It could be with lots of candles. It could be a whole batch. It could be multiple batches. I can't speak to the entire collection, but letting you know that mine is not good. And I'll go ahead and read you the batch number in case you want to do a comparison. It's 5264G301. So if you have that batch number, just know you may have comparable burn issues. I am reaching out. They'll give me a $5 gift card because I've already burned it, which is, I think, less than they should do, but that's usually what happens if you've already burned a scent. It's ironic because there's no way I could have known that that was going to stink like that without burning it, and yet here we are. I don't think this one changed either. Balsam. This one I think was also, yeah, this was number 10 on Cold Sniff. So this one also stayed the same. And you know, there's nothing wrong with this candle. It's gorgeous. It's the perfect balsam scent. But for me, I like more complexity with my pine scents, especially with balsam, because balsam, to my nose, can read a little bit dank, a little bit funky, a little bit tingy. There's like something to it that can be a bit like sweetly off-putting as well, and I kind of want like a berry note or just like a touch of eucalyptus in here, something to help really make this more evolved. It's still good though. You do get the classic balsam dank dingy scent. I feel like there is a pine note that's an addition in here, but it's very sharp and kind of just amplifies the balsam, where I'm looking for something to kind of play nicely with it and help to round it out a little bit. This was a very strong candle. I don't know that I would say full on beast mode, but very close. And then it had good throw. Filled the space, no issues with it being elusive. So I would say if you really like balsam and sharp pine, pick this one up. For me, I found it to be a little bit one-dimensional. Number 9 also stayed the same. And again, this is not the right jar. This is the Bath & Body Works jar that I cleaned out because this one came broken to me. But this is Christmas. For strength, I would categorize this more as a medium. I actually was a little bit surprised at how weak it was, and that could be because this is a year old, although sometimes candles actually get stronger with age. It did have good throw. I didn't have any issue with it not filling the space, so kind of just an average performer in my opinion. I feel like I was picking up on some balsam funk in here, even though balsam is not a scent note. So keep that in mind if you're looking for kind of a balsam-free, funky-free pine. This has just a hint of that in there, so you may not like it. The berry note in here is really pretty. It's nice and sweet. It reads like a red berry to me. It feels very holiday and festive. I don't feel like the cinnamon note that's in here comes through quite as strong as what I would prefer. Like I would take more spice with this, but if you don't like cinnamon, you might appreciate that. And overall, I walked away from this feeling like this candle on warm reads a little bit soapy to me, and I'm not exactly sure why. There's no scent notes in here that would inherently like scream soap to me, but I kept thinking this would make a good hand soap or like a good body wash. Yeah. And this is where I get into, I really like these and definitely would rebuy them in the future. And Peppermint is next on the list. This one dropped down a little bit. It's not as far up on the list, and that's because there's a couple of really stellar ones that are new that got bumped up. This is beautiful. I love it. It is just your classic candied sweet peppermint. I bumped it down for a couple of reasons. Number 1, I'd like it to be stronger. Although, to be fair, it is comparable to Bath & Body Works Twisted Peppermint or Crushed Candy Canes in terms of strength and throw. So it's on par with other brands. However, for Goose Creek, I kind of wanted a little bit more strength. So just a solid medium in terms of strength. Good throw, filled the space. But the second reason I marked it down is because I'm picking up on what feels like a waxy note in here that makes it feel almost like a peppermint chapstick or like a peppermint taper candle. There's just something that feels a bit too much like a waxy element. It's not a make or break. It doesn't ruin the scent for me, but it just makes it so that it's not quite as special as what it feels like on cold. It is a very warm, very creamy peppermint. It does actually smell a lot like a peppermint candy you've been sucking on for a while. Like I get that energy from it. Syrupy, sweet, warm, sharp peppermint. So I like it. I probably would rebuy it next year. I don't have any reason to not rebuy it. Just not as good as some of the other ones in this collection. Next on the list is White Christmas Cake, and this one stayed in its position in number 7. This is a delicious cake fragrance. You have to like cream cheese though. You have to like a sour lactonic note, which I personally do. And in this case, I feel like that like sour note helps to really balance out the very sweet notes that are in here, because you do get, and I know sometimes if someone describes a scent as dry or moist, people get confused, like how can a smell have a moisture content? But I get moist cake, and what I mean by that is it feels kind of oily, it feels buttery, it feels creamy and rich, versus like a dry cake can smell kind of crumbly and a little bit, I don't know, like a burnt sugar vibe. This smells like a moist cake. It almost gives me cake batter vibes. It's so moist in that regard. It's creamy. It's rich vanilla. I'm picking up on buttercream. I'm picking up on sourness from the cream cheese that's in here. And for a vanilla cake scent from Goose Creek, which I don't always have good luck with in terms of strength and throw, this one performed really well. It's medium, leaning towards strong. I was impressed, actually, by the strength. I don't remember it being that strong last year. And this one had good throw. No issues with elusiveness or, you know, pockets stronger elsewhere in the room than others. Just solid. Okay, number 6 went from 3 to 6, and that is the Gingerbread Lane candle. And that is because mostly strength, although I'm not crazy about the scent either, honestly. This bumped down because, first of all, to my nose, this red is a medium strength leaning towards light. I really wanted more strength in the room. And for a gingerbread scent in particular, because I feel like usually those spices can carry the scent really well, I was craving more in terms of power. Good throw, so no problems there. But overall, in terms of scent quality and authenticity, I was really craving more of like a buttery sweetness. It's almost like it's a really, really dry, like a gingerbread you would use that you don't plan to eat, but you want to build a house with. But I kind of want the kind you want to eat. Like, that's what I'm craving here. I also feel like the nutmeg is dominant, too dominant in this scent. You get a lot of nutmeg on warm, and I'm craving some of those other gingerbread spices like cardamom, ginger, cinnamon. It's very warm. It's very subtle in terms of like spice vibes, and I want something that elevates it a little bit. It's just too much nutmeg for me. If you like nutmeg, I think you would really appreciate this version. This is probably the most nutmeg heavy gingerbread I've smelled so far this season across all brands, but I wanted more of other spices. I also feel like the vanilla note in here could have been stronger. It feels like, you know, someone spilled a little bit of vanilla icing on the gingerbread house versus the house has a lot of vanilla icing holding it together. So I like it, but ultimately just wanted more. More gingerbread, more vanilla. Jingle Bells moved from 4 to 5, and that is because a couple of these new fragrances are really good, and it made this one get bumped down. Revisiting this one was a joy. I'm looking forward to finishing this up this year. This is from last year, of course, so not the same label. Medium strength. I would take it stronger, but just a solid medium performer, a solid good throw, no issues with throw at all. I feel like the vanilla in here feels earthy. It's just a little bit sweet. It doesn't go body care. It doesn't go full gourmand. Yeah, it's just like I feel like the underbelly of it is vanilla without having to be front and center and super powerful. So it's subtle, it's nice, it adds some warmth and some softness to the other scents. The apple on warm is very tart and sweet at the same time. The mandarin feels both juicy and zesty, and I get just a tinge of something that feels like cool air. And there is a vanilla snow note in here, so I don't know if that's like a eucalyptus element or something that's a little bit icy peppermint. There's something in here that feels a little bit sinus clearing on warm, but it is by no means the focal point. The focal point is the apple and the mandarin, and those two, which I wouldn't normally put together because I'm not a huge fan of either, play really nice in this candle. Very unique. I don't smell this sort of thing with other brands, at least not so far this year. I really enjoy that combination. Winter Splendor went from number 5 to number 4, so it kind of ousted the Jingle Bells, and that is because this is absolutely beautiful. On warm, it just screams holiday to me with the combination that's in here. You have a beautiful sweet pine note. You have a dry, barky cinnamon that feels almost like a cross between a cinnamon bark and a bakery like Ceylon cinnamon. It's a creeper. It was crawling up the stairs and going around the corner up into my office area. I kept getting hints of like woody pine, and I'm like, what is that smell? And realized it was this one burning down in the garage. Despite the creeper vibes, I wouldn't categorize this as a beast candle. It is medium leaning towards strong, and it did have the creeper energy, but I also feel like the further away you were from it, the stronger it was. So like as you got closer, it led more towards a medium strength, but if you were across the house, it smelled very strong. So the scent can project really well, but not necessarily beast mode when you're in the room with it. So that was interesting. There's also a hint of something in here. I have put citrus question mark. I swear I'm getting a citrus note, and I'm citrus blind. There's nothing in here that would imply there's a citrus note in this candle. So I don't know, but I swear I'm getting that. Could be the power of suggestion because people have compared this to Bath & Body Works winter candle, and it does smell similar to me. I don't know. take that for what it is. And then the peppermint in here is actually pretty sweet. I was expecting it to be a little bit more sharp, but it is a very sweet peppermint that pairs nicely with the sharpness of the pine that's in here. So really like this one. This would absolutely be a repurchase for me. Okay, these last three, almost impossible for me to put in rank order. I did it because I feel like I have to, but honestly, these are all tied for first. Buttered caramel popcorn, and this was the big upset because this started in 0.8 and now it is 3/1. I have in all caps OMG because it is delicious, delicious on warm. First of all, super buttery, and it is like a mix between that mutant yellow butter you can get at the movie theater that I think is just palm oil with butter flavoring. There's like a mix between that and what smells like a real butter. There's almost like a dairy element to the butter scent that's in here. You have saltiness that actually comes through. The caramel feels very gooey and syrupy like you would expect with a caramel corn. It adds like this richness and like a darker complexity. So you have this perfect blend of salty butter with like savory butter and caramel that's also sweet. It is like the perfect trifecta of balance that you want in a candle that is a gourmand or edible. It was also a strong performer, not only in terms of strength, solid strong, but also in terms of throw. And this one was also a creeper. It came up into the open concept. It didn't turn the corner and go upstairs, but I was smelling it while I was sitting in my chair. And it reminds me a lot, although that one is better, of Scary Movie Night from Kringle. So I plan to pair this one with Scary Movie Night with it's the Harry Potter one. For the life of me, I still don't know the name of it. I plan to pair all three of those together in my open concept. Maybe with like a salted pretzel cookie from Bath & Body Works. I think that would make a really good balance and theme of just salty, bready, popcorn, caramel, divineness. My only hesitation with this one, and I smell just a hint of it right now on cold, is that I feel like this was developing that same energy as the vanilla cookie. But again, my memory of the toffee corn candle that came out was that a Carnival line from this summer? I feel like it could be a figment of my imagination, or it's actually there. Yeah, I feel like I get a tinge of that burnt note. We'll see how that one develops. I'll definitely update you if it ends up being as bad as the butter cookie one, because that one's atrocious. Number 2 bumped from number 1, and that is the Christmas Magic. I still love this one. This is one of my favorite Christmas scents. This is a repurchase this year. This is equally delicious as the just plain old peppermint. The difference is that this one, I feel like it's better balanced. The peppermint isn't as strong. You still get a very creamy, sharp, sinus clearing peppermint, but the vanilla is really ramped up in this one. So it sweetens it up. It lightens it up. Makes it creamier. Almost reads like a peppermint frosting to my nose. It's just gorgeous. And by the way, this is ranking this high, and I don't think it's as strong as the peppermint candle. This read more like a medium leaning towards light to me in terms of strength. So if you want a sweet peppermint that's a little bit mellow, still a little bit sinus clearing, but some sweet vanilla, almost reads gourmandy, but not quite there, but not a beast, go with this one. If you want lots of peppermint with a hint of sweetness that's not necessarily vanilla and a beast of a strength, go with the peppermint, the regular peppermint. Otherwise, get this Christmas Magic. So love this one. I have rebought it. I would rebuy it next year. I really enjoy it. And number 1, which yes, will be a shocker to you because it is a cherry scent, but I love it, is Coconut Cherry Macaron. Now, first things first, there is an identity crisis going on with the candle name and the picture, okay? And that is because, well, a couple things. Number 1, macarons, the French pastry, is made with almond meal. So you sometimes get like a marzipan vibe because it's usually almond meal mixed with like meringue for the crust. Sometimes they'll put marzipan in the center, but it's also sometimes just like a powdered sugar based icing or a jam they'll put in the middle of it. I get elements that to my nose smell like almond marzipan, like what you would get if you took almond meal, sweetened it up, and made a cookie out of it. On the other hand, I do feel like I get coconut, but the coconut smells more like coconut cake to me. Again, I'm going to use that word. It's a very moist coconut vibe, which is weird because it says coconut shavings, which would make me think like raw coconut, that you've literally shaved the flesh off of it. I don't get shavings. This feels like a very heavy, sweet, syrupy coconut that you'd either have in a moist cake or that you would get in the American macaron, which is not the same as the French macaron. So I don't know what's going on with this. All I know is that I like it. It smells both like coconut and a little bit like amaretto. The cherry in here is subtle but sweet. It's delicious. I want to eat it. I don't know what I want to eat because my mind can't decide if this is the French version or the American version. Either way, I like it. I'm getting an almond amaretto vibe, a cakey coconut, subtle cherry, and I put in question marks, which cookie is this? Strength? Strong leaning towards beast. This thing is a powerhouse. The throw was good. Creeper came up the stairs. This one I could actually smell at my desk. It's that much of a creeper. And I will say that during the filming of my burn footage, I noticed that the wicks are off center. I've got a wick real close to the edge over here. So just something to keep an eye on. I usually don't have issues with that. I've only ever had one candle where it started melting the label. So I just like to watch it and make sure that it doesn't cause problems. And if it does, I would crock it or put it under a lamp instead. All right, y'all, let me know in the comments below which ones are you tossing in the bag. I know many of you have been patiently awaiting this review to add holiday candles to your cart, so I appreciate you waiting. Unfortunately, on the West Coast here, even paying with the expedited processing, it takes me a while to get these. And also, this was a huge collection to test and edit and get produced for you. So I appreciate your patience. Thank you for understanding. Go get yourself some holiday candles this weekend. I will see you tomorrow. I will have the other Goose Creek collection, the signature line. I'll have that out tomorrow. I also have the Kringle holiday in this pile. I have some fall stragglers from Goose Creek. I still have my favorite fall. I have the best gingerbread cookie. Wax Melt Wednesday. Be subscribed. Thumbs up this video if you want more Goose Creek reviews, and I will see you in my next review. Bye-bye, everybody.